If you've seen some of my videos, you'll notice that I'm usually always wearing gloves. Obviously, this is for safety reasons. Even though sometimes they may be a little uncomfortable, it is always important to have protection for my hands. I only get 10 fingers once, and I think about this constantly when I'm doing a project because I remember this one time I almost cut one of my fingers off with a grinder. I got distracted looking at something else and I wasn't paying attention to what I was actually doing. I remember it vividly. I was wearing some firm grip gloves that I usually get at Home Depot. I was grinding a piece of metal, and when I finished using the grinder, I put it down while it was still spinning. It began to jump around, and I immediately tried to grab it with my hands, and that's when I accidentally grabbed the disc, and it cut me pretty deep. Now, I'm not sure why I went for the disc, but I can tell you it was mainly because I was distracted, and in a moment of panic, when I saw it jump around, I just reacted without thinking. So I ended up with a deep cut. Now, the firm grip gloves I was wearing weren't thick gloves, but they were still some good protection because without them, I'm pretty sure I would have had a far more severe cut and could have potentially lost a finger. So that's why I find that it's important for me to wear gloves at all times when working on any project, because you just never know when something will happen. Now, I normally like to have two different types of gloves. My go-to gloves are normally the firm grip with the nitrile coating because they're more comfortable than the other types of gloves, and I feel I can move my fingers around better. They have this nice grip when they're brand new, almost like a sticky grip. They're pretty good, for example, when I'm doing an oil change because of the coating. It helps prevent my fingers from getting oily and soaked. They're thin, they fit snug, and won't come loose. Plus, my hands won't sweat since the back part is made of a breathable fabric. Thanks to the fact that they are thin, if they were to get wet, they usually dry pretty fast. They're also quite stretchy too. Plus, the best thing is that I usually get a 10-pack for a reasonable price. If I were to misplace a pair or if they were to get worn out, I just pull out a new pair. I have a pair in the truck, some in the toolbox, in my other tool bag. Anywhere I feel the need to have a pair, I go ahead and put some. I normally buy them at Home Depot when I go get materials, but you can practically find similar types of gloves in any big box store or online. Then I have these other gloves that are a little bit thicker. At least I feel them thicker. These cost about the same as a 10-pack, but they only come with 3 pairs. But as mentioned, they are thicker and I believe harder to rip through. They're thick on the inside. You have this cushion feeling for your hands when you grab something. Also, you have more protection for your knuckles as you also get some cushion for them. They wrap around your wrist so they won't fall off easily. The zigzag design keeps the glove sealed and in place, which prevents debris from getting inside. They may not be the most comfortable ones, but safety comes first. And for any heavy lifting, I would recommend these over the first gloves I showed you. For example, I normally use these when I'm lifting heavy things like tiles because when I put the tiles down, I can sometimes pinch my fingers. At least with these gloves, I'm able to give my fingers a little more protection. I would have preferred to have these on when I had the accident with the grinding disc. Now, there's so many other gloves out there, and some of them for specific types of projects. Like an example would be electrical gloves. Those cost more than the ones I usually buy. But if you think about it, even spending $50, $100, or $200 on a single pair of professional high-quality gloves is nothing when it comes to safety. Because like I said earlier, you only get 10 fingers once. Plus, the hospital bill is going to be a lot more expensive than those $100 gloves. So always do your research when it comes to looking for proper gloves. Safety should always come first before taking on any project. So these are the types of gloves I usually wear. Let me know in the comment section what type of gloves you use and which do you recommend. I would like to try out other glove brands for sure. That is all I have for y'all today. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It would help out the channel tremendously. Thank you all for your time. I will see you in the next one.